Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another GTA Online video. My name is Saintsfan, and do you want one of the fastest vehicles in the game that is also a really cool-looking vehicle that also is the best for these new Arena War modes? Well, in this video, I will show you which vehicle to purchase to have all that plus more. In this DLC, Rockstar added about 10 to 15 new vehicles, and we have even more with the drip feeding coming up, but there is one in particular vehicle that is just far ahead better than all the other ones. That vehicle, the bike, the Gargoyle bike. You wouldn't really think this going into this DLC, but that's actually the case. The bike is the best, and I'll explain why. Number one, it's relatively inexpensive. Out of all the cars, it's definitely lower end. I believe it cost 100 grand to purchase the bike, but if you actually already have the Gargoyle, you can just bring that straight in, so you kind of can save a little bit of money there. And it costs like 1.2 million to upgrade. And while it may seem like a lot, it is definitely the lower end for these Arena War vehicles. A lot of them are $3-4 million when you add all the upgrades up. Another good thing, and this is also a bad thing depending on how you look at it, there aren't as many customization options on this vehicle. And that's good because you're not going to be spending more money compared to some of the other vehicles, but it is also bad because you don't get those other vehicle options. Stuff like the shunt boost, you don't get that on the bike. Stuff like the proximity mines and the mines that you drop, you don't get those on the bike. And there's some other things, some other little things, but honestly, most of them, they're not super important. Like, they're not necessary items. The mines, I don't actually know a time they've actually worked and done something good. The shunt boost, while it is a cool little thing, I feel like I end up crashing most of the time anyway. So it's not like those things that it's missing are completely necessary. And it just saves you money, you know, when you're first starting out. And as for looks, this thing has 3 awesome, unique looks. So you have the apocalyptic version, which, you know, like the name suggests, it looks apocalyptic. It has a riot shield on the back for your shield if you choose. You have the futuristic version, which is probably the coolest of the bunch. This one has a pod-looking thing on the back to shield you, and it actually takes some cues from the Shotaro, and it has light-up rims and light up other features on it. But I will say this is actually not the vehicle you're going to want to own. You do not want to get the future version. I'll explain why in a second. And then we have the Nightmare version, which, I mean, it's bright and colorful. It also has the riot shield on the back, although it's in a different color. It's not apocalyptic looking, but it does look somewhat decent compared to some of the other Nightmare vehicles. But you may be asking yourself, why shouldn't I get the futuristic version? It looks the coolest. You're not wrong, but there's a pretty major thing that you can't do on the futuristic version. And that being, you cannot change the wheels. You are stuck with the wheels it gives you. You cannot change the front or the rear wheels. And that is actually very important when it comes to this being the fastest vehicle in the game, or at least one of them. It's definitely up there. This thing, if you do this certain glitch or trick, it can go faster than pretty much any vehicle in the game. Even if you're on a long enough straightaway, even the rocket powered vehicles like the Oppressor and the Voltic and the Batman car and all that. But even if you're just on a straightaway like the airport, this thing smokes supercars, the fastest supercars like the X80 Proto. And the way this works is by changing the rear tire. So when you're on that future version, you can't change the rear tire. Therefore, you cannot get this trick, this glitch to work. However, if you're on the apocalyptic version or the Nightmare version, you can go into the wheel section and change the back tire. And what you're going to want to change it to is one of the bigger, skinnier tires. So I think there's a couple towards the end. I know the Webs is one of them. You can just look at the game plan when you're in the game to know which ones to choose, but it's the ones that are bigger than the rest. Like I said, I chose the Webs, and you'll see here in a second some gameplay of this, of the glitch. Now, this has actually been in the game since the gargoyle originally came out, so it is shocking Rockstar did not patch this. But when you have the tire change to one of those wider ones on the gargoyle and also on the upgraded version of it, and if you wheelie, your bike goes insanely fast. The downsides obviously being that you can't really control it too much because you are wheeling, but that doesn't matter if you're going in a straight line. So if you want one of the fastest vehicles in the game, if not the fastest, get this bike with the either apocalyptic version or the nightmare version. I mean, if that doesn't really matter to you, then you can totally go with the futuristic version, and it's still super, super good, and I'll explain why here in a second. But if you want that added bonus of being the fastest of all time, then you're going to want to get the apocalyptic or the nightmare version. So apart from it being the fastest if you do that, some other reasons why this is the vehicle you should buy. This thing is so OP in a lot of the arena modes. Capture the flag. This thing is so damn easy. You just go get the flag, go back. You're such a small target to hit that you almost never die because you have a ton of health. I don't believe in the arena mode you can fall off of the bike, so that's another bonus. In the race arena mode, it's so much easier, I found, because it's easier to dodge people and to dodge missiles and all that because you're a much smaller target versus like a giant car or something. And in a lot of the other arena modes where you can choose your cars, it just seems to be one of, if not the best. Yeah, it doesn't have the guns that do a ton of damage, and it doesn't have the mines that drop. But a lot of the times, like I mentioned, those aren't that useful anyway. So if you do want to win a lot of the arena modes, then the bike is the one you're going to want to buy. And then I think one of the most important reasons why you should own the bike is because it works with the MC menu. This is like hands down the greatest thing ever. I keep saying that, and I will always say that until it changes. I don't think it ever will. The MC menu allows you to spawn this right next to you without waiting instantly. You can spawn it over and over again, dies. You want to get more health on it, respawn it. It takes 2 seconds. Now, if you don't have a name, there's not going to be a name in the list, so make sure you do name it. But you can spawn it, and it's so freaking nice. Also, this thing does have some resistance to explosives. It takes 3 homing missile shots to blow it up. Although, granted, if you're on it at the time, you're going to die, but your bike isn't. So that does make things a little bit nicer. So you don't have to deal with Moore's Mutual. You don't have to deal with calling someone. You can just recall it through the interaction menu and get it fresh and new. And they do have the shield on the back, which is completely impenetrable as far as guns go. Like, no one can shoot through that with guns. They can throw sticky bombs or grenades and stuff, and obviously that's going to still blow you up. But as far as guns go, you are safe from the back. So that is why this vehicle, I think, is the thing you should own at the start. Compared to all the other ones, it's just got so much going for it. Being one of the cheapest, having it spawn through your MC menu, having it be one of the best ones in the arena modes, having that option if you really want to be the fastest vehicle in the game if you like drag racing with your friends. I mean, there's really not that many negatives towards it. I mean, really, the main one is that it's a bike. So in free roam, when you're using it, you know, you're going to fall off occasionally because it's a bike. But like I said, I think this is the best vehicle that you can own. If you're just starting out, it'll help you level up the arena mode faster. It gives you some awesome, unique abilities like going the fastest in the game if you choose the Apocalypse or the Nightmare mode. And it gives you a really awesome, unique design if you choose the futuristic mode. In the comment section, let me know your thoughts on this. I'm kind of curious if you think this is one of the best vehicles as well. Thank you all for watching, though. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more awesome GTA content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.